Hello, just bring you back. Uh, is it just me, or has anybody else noticed that V Twins are disappearing? Now, a while back, Honda brought out their new Africa Twin. Of course, the old Africa Twin was iconic, fantastic bike. 750cc V Twin. It started out life as something different, but I'm not sure of the facts on that. I think it might have started as a 600 or a 650. Anyway, so the 750 Africa Twin V Twin suddenly became a parallel twin 1000cc, I think, when it came out, and then it became 1100cc a bit later. I vaguely remember something like that. But why? Why? Where's the V Twin? That was the whole thing about the Africa Twin. It was that it was a V Twin. So I guess Honda thought nobody would notice. They changed it for a parallel twin. From what I can gather, they're obviously fantastic bikes. Nothing wrong with a parallel twin that the new Africa Twin bears now. Obviously, the modern technology and everything that goes into them is fantastic. But in my view, it's not an Africa Twin because it's not a V Twin. So then you've got your Transalp. Again, another iconic Honda. Brilliant. I've had a few. I had two, I think, Transalps. A 600 and a 650. The original 600 was my favourite. It was really good. It looked like a proper desert bike, Paris-Dakar race type thing. Really good dual sport, enduro, whatever you want to call it, bike. The second one, the 650, was a little bit, it got a bit softer, a bit more rounded. I do like the look of the 700 Transalp, yeah, the sort of third or third and a half version. They look a little bit less soft than the 650. But anyway, as far as I can tell, the next iteration of the Transalp is not going to be a V-twin. It's going to be a parallel twin as well. I don't know what engine size. I think it's going to be a 700. Anyway, as usual, I've done no proper homework. But why would you do that? I suppose for them, we've done the Africa Twin, the big 1100cc parallel twin, sort of, what would you call it, adventure bike, dual purpose, whatever. So let's not make the next Transalp a parallel twin as well. Well, you've lost me. Why would you do that? And also just heard that the the Suzuki SV650, which is just a proper iconic bike. I mean, yeah, probably the biggest selling, best all-round bike that's ever been produced. The SV650 V-twin, same engine in the V-Strom, slightly differently tuned 650, as is the SV1000, the same engine as the V-Strom 1000, the DL1000, differently tuned. The SV650 is going to be available still to order as a V-twin in 2023. The new range is out, and the new model range. But apparently Suzuki are now developing their 700cc-ish parallel twin. By all accounts, is going to go in what's going to replace the SV650. And no doubt the V-Strom, I was going to say, I don't know if the V-Strom still has a V, but it wouldn't be called a V-Strom, I'm sure, if it had a parallel twin by now. So they're all going parallel twin. And I guess it's for emissions and rules and regulations and this, that, and the other. But Harley aren't making parallel twins, and they still sell all over the world. You can buy them in Britain, you can buy them in Europe. MotoGuzzi are still making V Twins, albeit the other way around in the frame, which is brilliant, like the old CX500 and the CX650. Fantastic, love them. They're okay. They've got the V7 Stone and the V7 whatever it, which is it an 800 or an 850 cc? It's around about the 800 cc V twin mounted crosswise, so it's like a parallel V twin. So they're producing those still. So if Harley can do it and Guzzi can do it, and I can't think of obviously Indian and Victory, and if Victory still exists, I'm not sure. So why would Honda and Suzuki take iconic V-twin motorcycles and make them parallel twins? I don't know. There's obviously a business reason for doing it, cost and regulations and emissions, but to me it's the same as BMW buying the Mini name and producing one of the worst vehicles ever in terms of reliability. Great fun looking cars, the modern BMW Mini. There's lots of variations of them. My daughter's got one. It's a 4-wheel drive giant automatic, looks like a blooming Range Rover, but it's called a Mini, and it's got a 2-litre turbo diesel engine in it. So that's, it's not a Mini because it's a BMW with an absolutely terrible bunch of engines. And the new Beetle, when that come out, it looks like a Beetle. The engine's in the wrong end and it's water cooled. Just why? I don't get it. I'm obviously just being a right grumpy old git. I hate it. I really, really hate it. The new Africa Twin is, by all accounts, I've never been on one, I've never ridden them, but by all accounts, they're an absolutely fantastic, amazing, brilliant bike. Obviously, they're going to be. But don't call it an Africa Twin, because it's not. It's not a V-twin. If the new Transalp comes out and it's a parallel twin, well, call it something different. It's not a Transalp. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that have got Africa Twins and maybe some of these other vehicles we've mentioned, and the Mini and the Beetle. Fine, that's great, but don't use the name if it's it's not what it is. Things ain't what they used to be. It is what it ain't. That's my rant. Cheers. Peace and love. I've been Springy.